Hey guys, this is SansCorpsTarot, and today we are going to be doing a pick a group reading about channeled messages from the higher selves of your loved ones. So these are people, I intend for these to be messages from the higher selves of people in like your soul tribe. So like the people who you feel that like deep familial connection to, whether or not they're actually like related to you in this lifetime. But yeah, so I just thought it would be really nice and sweet to get channeled messages from them to see whatever they have to say. So I'm not sure. I'm filming this intro in the beginning, so I don't know what messages are going to come out. I'm going to let whatever wants to come out, come out. Maybe it'll be some hype messages. Maybe they have some, words of advice for things you're going through, or some words of, caution about things you're about to go through. I don't know, but we'll see. So we have 4 groups for you today. Group 1, you have this little like Pooh Bear that says honey on it. Group 2, you have this marble, and I'm not going to pick it up because it is so hard to balance it back in place. Group 3, you have this little turtle, this little glass Swarovski turtle that I didn't realize but lost its leg. And then group 4, you have this domino that has 5 dots on it. I just randomly chose that from all of my stacks of dominoes. So take your time, choose which pile you feel like would contains your energy probably. So what do you feel like you personally align to most? Is it the little honey Pooh Bear thing? Is it the marble? Is it the glass turtle without a foot? Or is it the domino? So take your time choosing your groups, and I'll see you guys in your readings. Hey, pile 1, if you chose this adorable little Pooh Bear guy, this is going to be your reading all about channeled messages from the higher selves of your loved ones. So these are going to be the higher selves of people that you already know, or that know you. So it could be that maybe you have some sort of like soulmate that you haven't met yet, and maybe they come through, but these are going to be messages that the people closest to you, they're gonna be like their higher selves are gonna be the ones relaying the messages. I also wanted to say so sorry for my dirty hands. I'm like painting and like using acrylic, oh no, not acrylics, like oil pastels, so it's like a lot of finger stuff, and I didn't wash my hands. Actually, I'm gonna go do that right now. Hold on. Okay, so like the oil pastels came off, but like I have paint like deep beneath my fingernails that is like dried underneath it, and I'll just need to cut my nails, but I can't do that right now. But okay, so welcome to reading pile 1. First of all, I want to say that you are probably, I think that you are a sweetheart probably. And maybe you do have a little bit of, a rougher initial presence, but I think that really you are very sweet, and I think that's maybe maybe a message for some of you. Maybe you get a little bit worried if you guys do have some sort of like hard shells or like insecurities or something. It could be, oh my god, that is so weird, I'm sorry, that's from like my wet hands. Ignore that. But I think that it could be that some of you, I'm just thinking of the bear. I think that some of you, maybe if you could be concerned that if you have some insecurities or something, you could be concerned that potentially that causes you to have like a rougher presence to other people. And I think, or to maybe just people in general, or at least people that you just meet. And I think that the message from higher selves of your loved ones is trying to tell you, first and foremost, you are super sweet. They know that. Even if you do have maybe bad moments, or moments that you would consider are bad moments of your own, where maybe just like your insecurities peek out, or maybe you project something, they're telling you not to beat yourself up for that. That's human nature, and at least you're on like sort of the healing self-awareness path, where you sort of, I think that you are able to back up and say you're sorry and apologize for your actions, and try to be a little bit more rational, level-headed in the future, but I think that maybe you are, sometimes, we all let our emotions get the best of us sometimes, and we act maybe in a way that we're not so proud of. And I think that, yeah, they're just coming through, their higher selves are coming through to say, first and foremost, you are like a very good, sweet person, regardless of any sort of just little trivial things that you get hung up on, or any little, actions or misbehaviors that you would think of on your end. They're basically telling you to not beat yourself up over just being a human, You're still like a good person, even if you're, a little irritable, a little hangry one day. They're just telling you to learn from that. And I think that you are able to do that. You're able to, step back, say you're sorry, recognize you're in the wrong, and try to intentionally not act that way in the future. And do your best to sort of, process everything and cope and stuff like that. But okay, let's get some messages firstly from this tarot deck. Because this tarot deck is, it's actually, it's called the After Tarot. Ooh, we have the Nine of Pentacles on the back of the deck. But it's called the After Tarot, and it was gifted to me by my mother. So it's obviously very important, and it was like the first tarot deck, I think. Like the first official tarot deck that I used. I had others that basically I had used for entertainment a little bit before, but this is the first one that I had gotten right around the time I was actually starting my spiritual journey. And we did have the Nine of Pentacles on the back of the deck, so I think that there may be something about, you starting something out for yourself too now, or maybe, the higher selves of your loved ones are coming through to try and give you the confidence to, if you're thinking about starting something independently for your own, or for yourself, to, get started with that, because I started sort of seriously reading tarot a few years ago, and I did not expect it to bring it to me like this YouTube channel or anything. So I think there could be a message of, feel free to start and try out those new things that you have genuine interest in, because you never know where it could lead. Even if it's like years down the line, it could be still something very lucrative. And this could even be like, if you guys have been thinking about investing in like a stock or something, like specifically recently within the past like few days, I think that could be very lucrative, and like specifically lucrative in like the long run. Maybe not like lucrative right now, but lucrative in the long run. Okay, I think that they're telling you this too. I think that right now you may not be able to sorry, I just said they're telling you this too. They're telling you the Five of Cups as well. For those of you who aren't actually watching the video and are just listening, that was the Five of Cups. But I think that they're telling you that you are probably going to be, reaping some things right now. You're going to be putting energy towards things right now. Maybe you are putting energy towards things and you're not really reaping the rewards yet. But they're telling you that that doesn't mean that they're never going to come. They're just saying that you have to be strong, consistent, and determined in what you're doing, and be very confident in it. I think that they're also telling you that if you feel like you're putting too much energy towards something, to actually stop and evaluate whether or not that thing is worth the energy you're putting into it. And it's telling you to take a very tempered approach too, because, for example, maybe this is something like a stock, where you would just have to simply wait and be patient to see the steady growth over time. Same thing with like a small business or something, or like, for example, a YouTube channel such as this. It takes time to grow and everything. And so it's telling you, though, to just take stock of where you're at. Pardon the pun for the stock thing as well. But take stock of where you're at, and maybe, the energy you're putting into it, and maybe why you're putting energy into it. Because, so right now I started this tarot channel because, I really loved reading tarot. I thought, maybe if this grew into something, I could potentially, make a little bit of extra money, and I could also, channel all of this energy. Even if it fizzled out and I never, was able to monetize this or anything, I was like, I could still flex my intuition so that I could give more more accurate readings to myself and my friends then. But and then I was like, but alternatively, if it does well, then it does well. And so I think it's telling you to I could have also only been into this tarot channel to try and quickly monetize it and get a lot of money. And so in that sense, if that was the only sort of output that I was looking for, it's not the output that I have yet. So I would have wanted to quit by now. Oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm like expressing this right to you guys, but basically all it's saying is, you know, there could be something that you're working on right now that is not worth your energy. Maybe you're only working towards it because, you know, you have some sort of like karmic attachment to it. Maybe it's a job that you think could be really lucrative, but you're not passionate about it or anything, or, you know, you think that you are, but actually you're just kidding yourself because it's really the money that you're interested in. But then you have the Eight of Pentacles, so I think that definitely also it's saying that there is something also right now that maybe you're being encouraged to put time and effort into, but you're also being warned that it's not going to be super lucrative super quickly, but it's going to have a nice steady growth. Because the Eight of Pentacles is always nice for me because for me personally, the Seven of Pentacles always comes out, which is like, ugh, just such a tiring, exhausted, stagnant energy to me. It always comes out specifically to me in regards to like my twin flame connection and everything. So the Eight of Pentacles, though, like always comes out when there's sort of like a light at the end of the tunnel. So the Eight of Pentacles, especially when it comes out alone without the Seven of Pentacles, it tells me like, you know, you're over the hump, or, you know, there will be a hump, but like you will be able to get over it. So, you know, it could be something like, it could even just be a little hobby that you're being called to take on, and you just simply don't know where it could take you. You know, for another example, maybe you're just like, you're thinking about crafting or something, and maybe this crafting in years, it's going to actually, like, you'll post about it and it'll make you go viral, and then it'll help you like get famous or something, and then that famousness will help you kickstart some other like passion projects or something. You know, it's basically just saying, and this doesn't even necessarily reference stuff like that, you know, it could even be, you know, maybe you just take up this hobby and you don't realize, but actually taking up this hobby is how you meet like the love of your life or something, because you join a club for this hobby and they're in it. Or maybe it's like on your way to go do this hobby or activity, you meet them. It's basically just like invest in the little thing that you've been thinking about doing recently, because I know there's been something. And I mean, within the past like 2 weeks, probably there's been something on your mind that you've been like, maybe should I do this? And I feel like maybe the roadblock to you not doing it is that you know that it's going to take a lot of consistent, steady effort. But I don't even think it's going to take a lot of effort. It's just going to take, like, you're going to have to do something. And I think you're almost of the mindset right now where you're like, it's gonna, like, it'll take so long to see that output, and also like I don't know if this is worth it, and I don't know if I have the time and energy right now, and I don't, yeah, just a lot of like, pardon, like, not to roast you, but a lot of like low-key laziness, which I totally understand. I feel that too, and that's why I'm like, you know, sometimes laziness, yes, like that's what we're meant to do. We're meant to be lazy, and I'm not telling you to kill yourself over this hobby. Like, don't like strain or like put in strenuous effort, but what I am saying is that maybe like your laziness is warranted for other things, but I think this is something that could actually like fulfill you emotionally and potentially like career-wise, because we do have a lot of Pentacles, or we just have the Eight of Pentacles, but the Eight of Pentacles is such a strong energy to me. And then we also have the King of Cups that came out. So actually I'm going to get a clarifier for that, because I feel like that's just going to be like a brand new message that's coming through. So can I get a clarifier for the King of Cups? Oh, the Six of Cups. Oh my gosh. So you guys could actually, I think that you guys are going to be reconnecting with some friends. I think that you guys, or like some like sort of loved one or loved energy, which is so beautiful, because that's like, okay. So actually, you know what I'm thinking right now? I'm thinking that, so this could potentially be someone that you have a real, true, like, close connection with in the 3D right now. And I think this could be just their higher self coming through. And I mean, that's like what this whole reading is supposed to be, but I think that like, well, actually, okay, so I'm gonna pull another card on it, because I did mention that little clarifier about like maybe this could be a soulmate that you haven't met yet that's coming through, and the Six of Cups tells me like soulmate, and the fact that Six of Cups was clarifying the King of Cups, it's telling me soulmate as well. And so honestly, the initial thought that I had was that like, you know, you potentially could have like someone coming in who is a soulmate. We have the Moon that did kind of, it did want to come out. but it didn't completely come out yet. Oh, yeah, okay. So we have death, and then we have, okay, so we have the Nine of Wands. So I think this is probably someone that you did meet. Maybe it's someone that you aren't talking to right now, or you just haven't talked to in a while. And it could be a romantic connection, it could be a platonic connection, but regardless, I think that it's someone that you did view as a soulmate. You did have a lot of fun with in your childhood, and I think that they're coming back. And I think that they're going to try to sort of, reconnect with you with this death card. Here, I'm just gonna scooch everything up a little bit. So, actually I'm gonna get a card from another tarot deck. From the new, actually no. Okay. I'm gonna get a card from the Oracle deck that I just got called the Pure Magic Oracle deck. Ooh, that was a terrible shuffle. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I'm gonna get an Oracle card just about like this connection. Because, so we have death, and then we have the Nine of Wands, and the Nine of Wands is very defensive to me. And so I'm feeling like this could be a stubborn energy coming back. And so the King of Cups, I'm not going to lie, the initial energy I did get was like that someone was returning, or that like this King of Cups is an actual person coming towards you with an emotional offer. But I didn't want to be too quick to say that, and that's why I got the clarifiers. And then I got the Six of Cups, which did kind of reiterate that, but the Six of Cups also is such like a beautiful, wholesome energy to me whenever it comes out. But then, death and the Nine of Wands, it's telling me that maybe this King of Cups was really kind of a King of Cups in the past. The King of Cups can have like a very nice, emotionally mature energy, or it could have sort of like an emotionally manipulative energy where it's like self-aware, but like that he's self-aware of his emotions, but like he almost like toxically uses that to manipulate people or something, which that's like, the blocked, maybe like immature version of the King of Cups. So I feel like that could have been this person in the past. This could have been someone who you did sort of need to have defensiveness over, and they are just like sort of, they're coming back definitely like with the Six of Cups and the Death card, and I don't want to say just like, coming back. Oh my god. I basically just mean that they're, I think they're going to reach out to you to try and reconnect. So many cards. Okay, but I think a single card flipped over on the ground. So I'm going to take that one and only that one, and snake skin. So, information, secrets, body language, senses. So I believe this is probably someone who was like a snake. And I'm going to get, I'm going to get another card. Hold on. Oh, I'm going to move these things even more. I'm going to put this actually, where can I see it? No, I'll put this right here. Can you see my arms? Oh, you can. Let's see, so I'm going to put this right here, and I'm going to get another card, like, about this connection, or, like, about specifically, the future of this connection. Because I definitely am getting that snake skin energy, is a past energy for sure, but I just don't know if it's a changed energy. I don't know if this King of Cups changed into a mature person, because the Six of Cups is kind of, it's telling me that they could have, but I don't know. Oh my gosh, I only had 3 cards that came out, but I'm going to take them. We have pyrokinesis, debate, rage, revolution, and attention. So this is all about the future of this connection. And then we have witches' wounds, remedy, magical medicine, sacred heart, another day. And we have Voodoo roots, respect, survival, liberation, freedom. Sorry guys, I keep not holding it in front of the camera. The camera's positioned differently than normal. Because I got a new camera. Did you guys notice? But okay, sorry. I'm silly. But yeah, so I think this person did not change. And I think that honestly you're being called to not even give them the time of day. I think that's the message that's trying to come through. We have snakeskin, and then I don't know if you guys noticed, but the cards that came out afterwards about the future of this connection, not so great. So pyrokinesis, debate, rage, revolution, attention. I think this person brings out the worst in you, and I think you bring out the worst in this person. And I think that maybe you guys do mirror each other in very harmful, egotistical, karmic ways. And I think that just simply probably, yeah, this person hasn't changed. And I think that it's, you know, not to say that you and this person are equals and both at fault. I think that this person is very manipulative, but I think that they know how to manipulate you to get you to your worst point, basically. And I think that they're coming back with the guise of having healed, but I don't think they have. Because we have that, and then we have witches' wounds. So remedy, magical medicine, sacred heart, another day. So I feel like you're honestly being called to actually try and do something like spiritual to cut ties with this person, you know. You guys can take sacred baths. You guys, you know, you can look this up online, or you can comment down below if you want more information, or if you don't really know exactly what I'm talking about. But there are ways to do like spiritual cord cuttings with karmic connections and people that you don't want to be involved with anymore. And so definitely, if you're truly interested in that, comment down below and I will guide you through it. But I don't want to waste anyone who's not interested in its time. But yeah, I think that you're being called to do something to really cut contact with this person. I think maybe even block their number, unfollow them on social media, block them on social media. I think that you're really being called to not even engage with them from the get-go. You're being called to remain in this defensive 9 of Wands energy, because they are going to be so problematic, and maybe they'll be able to manipulate you in, but I think that whatever calm guise they're coming to you with is just that. It's only a guise. It's not the truth. They're genuinely the same person. I don't think this King of Cups has changed, but I think that they're, you know, I think that you guys probably have had good times together, and I think that they're going to come back in and try to lure you with the opportunity or potential for more good times. They're going to be like, hey, you want to go to this place that we had such a great time at like 8 years ago? You know, and that's could be an exaggeration. Maybe it's not from that long ago, but this is definitely like someone manipulative from the past who's coming back, who hasn't changed. Viewed on roots, respect, survival, liberation, freedom. I think you're being called to step into your spirituality right now to try and really have that self-sufficient, independent 9 of Pentacles energy. You know, I think that you're being called to connect with probably the 3D selves of these people coming through in this reading, the soul tribe that you have, your close community, and also yourself. You're being called to really take meaningful time for self-care and spiritual self-care as well. You know, take spiritual baths, or just, you know, dance in front of a mirror, stuff like that. But however you connect to yourself in a spiritual, but also like, you know, sensual self-care sort of way. But then, yeah, also connect with the loved ones around you, so that you don't only feel secure in yourself, but you also feel secure in your connections and your ability to, you know, be a person who has connections with other people. So let's get some more cards. Let's see if the Magic Mundane Tarot has any other messages for you guys about any of this stuff. Yeah, so this is interesting. I mean, you guys had like that initial sort of, there could be excess energy in your life right now that you're being called to cut out from that, you know, very initial message at the beginning of, you know, there could be something that maybe you are putting a lot of energy and resources into, for maybe not the best reasons, and you're just being called to, you know, maybe save your laziness for stuff like that. If there's a hobby or something that you're into, like this is just a silly, cheeky example. If there's like just a person you think is hot, and maybe you go to the gym all the time just to try and see that person, because they go to the same gym as you or something, you know, and even you go there to the gym even when you're exhausted, you're being called to just simply not do that. You know, like I don't know if this is necessarily anything big that you're being called to like stop, but I mean, it's definitely something that is taking up time and energy, and that's making your life just sort of like unjustly, undeservedly a little harder or worse. Because, you know, it's not like you ever talk to this person at the gym anyway. You guys are just stare at them, but I mean, and there are going to be countless other times that you could stare at them later when you feel better, so you might as well wait. But yeah, you also have that message about, you know, there's could be something on your mind that you want to step into right now, but also the main thing I think that they were coming through with was this person that's returning. Then we have the Forecaster of Coin. coins. Let's see. Forecaster's queen, I believe. Queen of Pentacles. Yes, the Queen of Pentacles. Oh my god, so that's beautiful. So yeah, there's totally you're being called to step into your boss energy, basically. So this says, plant witch, you radiate home, your quiet confidence blocked up. Oh my gosh, your quiet confidence backed up with useful skills, beauty and simplicity, always present in the moment, understanding that of all the resources, our time is the most precious. Okay, so I mean, the fact that I read your quiet confidence backed up as your quiet confidence blocked, I think that your confidence is probably blocked right now. I think that you could just, I don't know, yeah, I think that it's just the energy of where you're at in your life. You could be feeling like maybe you do feel the stagnancy from this Eight of Pentacles. There is the truth that you are in the Eight of Pentacles, not the Seven of Pentacles, so you are a little bit over the hump, but maybe your life is pretty stagnant right now. I also just saw or realized that 8 and 8, you know, the double 8 was strength and 8 of Pentacles. So I think 888 could be a synchronicity for you, specifically when you're thinking of that little thing that you want to start, that little, you know, idea or hobby or, you know, business or anything, side hustle. It's going to be anything. Maybe that new friendship you want to get into, but I do think it's probably going to be something tangible. What was I saying before? Oh yeah, I think that your confidence is pretty blocked. I think that so yeah, you're putting time and energy into some things, but you're feeling a little stagnant. And I think that you are being called to just wait a little bit longer, because there are definitely things I think that you're working on now that you will see the results of and, you know, the fruits of later. You know, you are going to have to wait a little bit. This is the Eight of Pentacles, not the 9, not the 10 yet, but you do have the Queen of Pentacles right here, so it's coming and you'll get it. But you just have to wait and be patient. But you also need to make sure that this is the right thing to put time and energy into. But then I think that also you do have some sort of like a lack of confidence in yourself because these things haven't happened for you. And I think just in general, maybe you feel like not much has happened for you in your life. Maybe you feel like, maybe you're just, you know, kind of young, or maybe you feel like you just are at the beginning of your journey. Maybe you feel like you just don't have a lot, like a solid foundation beneath you. Maybe you feel like and you're a little insecure about not having that foundation and having to be in the process of building it instead of being, you know, solidly in your career. Maybe you're at the beginning, or maybe you're doing a career switch or something like that. But I mean, or maybe it could just be referencing like the fact that you could be starting up a hobby or something like that. You don't like that you're just starting out and you have to like get the ball rolling, and you feel really not confident and not secure in yourself and your ability to really get the ball rolling. And so there's a fear that's blocking you from actually, you know, achieving things and going out for them and starting to roll the ball at all, you know? And so obviously, oh my God, I'm killing this metaphor, I'm beating it to death, but regardless, so you can't ever get the ball to go super fast if you don't ever like push it to begin with, you know? So you can't ever like really achieve all that you want to if you don't ever like lay the basic foundation to achieve that. And I know that it sucks being in the beginning stage, but you're being called to remember that, or you're being called to like affirm to yourself that you're not incapable. You don't deserve to feel insecure and incapable. You don't deserve to feel like unworthy or undeserving of this. Like those are just simply your fears holding you back, and maybe it's fears caused by the stagnancy that you feel you're at. Maybe you feel like in the past you've put in so much time and energy into things that haven't worked out for you, and you feel like that's just sort of the burden you're doomed to carry your whole life. But I'm telling you that the higher selves of your loved ones are telling you that's not true. You can achieve these things, but maybe you haven't really been going after the right things in the past, or maybe you've been a little impatient with things in the past. But you're being called to just sort of really try and build your confidence up, because yeah, I think that that's like the biggest message that they have for you. And however you do that, and I think it is going to just take a lot of sort of sitting in your own energy and sort of trying to affirm to yourself and use things like affirmations, like verbal affirmations, to say, it doesn't matter if I'm just starting out, it's okay. It doesn't matter if I'm scared, or it's understandable that I'm scared. Most people get scared or nervous about starting new things, but I just need to remember that that scaredness, that fear does not mean that I'm incapable. That fear does not, it's not my intuition telling me this is going to go wrong. That fear is just my fear, and it's something that a lot of other people have, and it's something that I've had in other situations, and I've gotten over it, and I just have to get over it now too. And it is going to be uncomfortable, and that's why you're being called to really, really meditate on the energy of the things that you are consciously putting time and energy into. Don't just willy-nilly be like, oh yeah, I should invest in stocks because I listened to that tarot reading and she mentioned stocks. No. Do that if you've been thinking, invest in stocks. If you, before this reading, you've been thinking for a little bit, man, I should really invest in something, and maybe you've even had a stock picked out that you've been eyeing for a little bit, and you just haven't wanted to like make the purchase. But I'm telling you now, like, even if it's a small little purchase, do it, go for it. Like, of course, like, you have the final say, but if you feel comfortable, totally go for it. Let's get any, I'm gonna get just some words of advice from this beautiful tarot deck. Not tarot deck at all, it's an oracle deck. I totally forgot what it's called, but it's like so wholesome, I love it. I totally forget what it's called. I throw away the boxes of my decks, which is not a good thing to do, and I've stopped doing it, but I did it before. So some advice potion. Oh my gosh, remember to practice self-love. Guys, that's the entire thing I've been saying. That's how you do this. That's how you sort of eradicate that fear, because your fear is natural, honestly, guys. And the only way that you can sort of eradicate something so natural, is if you fight it with something else that's kind of also a natural thought. And that is, just the natural sort of self-love that you feel from just spending time with yourself and having that solid foundational relationship. And I think definitely if you guys do really struggle with that, and if you guys are thinking to yourselves right now, like, okay, well, I actually don't really know if I love myself that much, so I don't know if I'm able to just spend time with myself and feel good afterwards. I think that you're being called to, definitely seek out something like therapy, to try and just, better your relationship with yourself. Seek out some sort of external help, because those things, it's very difficult and almost impossible, basically impossible, for us to figure those things out on ourselves, or for ourselves, if we were never taught to learn, if we were not taught how to love ourselves, it's very hard to teach ourselves, so definitely no shame in that either. But yeah, definitely self-love. If there's something that you do, like for me, I love taking baths and lighting incense and having candles, and just like that warm, cozy, candlelit bath vibe, maybe with some like bath salts or some food or something like that, and like a good TV show. Oh, so nice. And I also just even love like going on walks with myself. But yeah, just if you have something like that that just helps you really like almost helps you feel like you're just hanging out with a friend that is yourself, like do those things. And I think if you don't have things like that you can do, you're being called to try and discover things like that, where things that you can do with yourself, by yourself, that make you just appreciate your own energy so much more, because you are a beautiful, loved, wonderful, ooey gooey person. But I think that you do have a little bit of a hard shell in some situations, or at least you feel like you have a hard shell, or maybe it just takes a lot of conscious effort for you to sort of step into your like ooey gooey honey bear nature. Because I'm getting that like you guys could be the type to be like, I don't know, I'm getting like it's mostly like, I'm getting honestly a little bit of Virgo from you. Like I'm getting like you guys just are so sort of wound up in your 3D reality and in your like responsibilities and stuff like that, that it's almost like you just forget to sort of sit with your own energy and love on yourself, and you're being called to try and do that. But okay, pile one, I'm gonna leave it there. I hope you guys like this reading. I loved it. I thought it was so wholesome. Yeah, if you did so, feel free to like, comment, but definitely subscribe to help strengthen our energetic bond so I can help bring you more readings that hopefully resonate. But I hope you have a nice day or night whenever you're watching or reading this. Bye, guys. Hey, pile 2, if you chose this marble, this is going to be your reading about channeled messages from your loved ones. Ugh. Okay. No. This is so hard. Okay. Alright, we'll leave it there. But anyway, that marble is super special to me, actually, you guys. I've been waiting to use it in a reading, and that's because, so there's this beautiful song. I'll probably link it if I remember. If I don't remember, comment and remind me. I'll probably link it in the description box, but it's a song called The Marble Song from the movie Song 1. And basically it's a beautiful song, and its lyrics goes something like, luck is like a marble on the floor waiting for you like to fall or something, or like, and then another line is, love is like a marble on the floor just waiting for you. And so basically it's something to the it's a song about how it's kind of like an acoustic a little bit melancholy of a song, but mostly just a little, oh god, I use this word all the time, just a little brooding, like a little wistful, just, it has a sad vibe to it, but its lyrics aren't sad. It's about, love is like a marble. You'll just randomly step on it one time, and it'll just hit you all of a sudden. So I think that there's a message that something is coming to you, something very unexpected. Something that will be like, you feel like you just like tripped on a marble, and this marble was that thing, but it like caused you to like fall down 5 flights of stairs and break your entire body. But I don't think it's going to be something bad like that, but maybe it's just something very, very surprising, very jarring for you because of how unexpected it was almost. And so maybe that's a little bit of like the fear or the wistfulness of the song, because the lyrics are very beautiful. I'm sure that this unexpected thing coming to you is something beautiful, but I mean, I think it's just the unexpected nature of it. It's undeniable. So let's see. Maybe let's get some clarification for what exactly, is this thing. Oh my god. Okay, so this is so interesting actually, because these are cards, some cards that came out from pile 1. So we have the King of Cups and the 8 of Coins. But then we also have the High Priestess. And so the King of Cups had been coming out. The King of Cups came out. So the King of Cups and the 8 of Coins came out. The High Priestess did not, but they came out with a bunch of other cards in the last reading. But so I think that this could be, you know what, I'm going to get some clarifying cards for it because I don't want to speak too soon, because I just know for me, King of Cups obviously is emotion, and 8 of Pentacles for me is just always such a, it's a card that even though it's about Pentacles, which talks about, earthly grounded things like career, money, stuff like that, it's a card that always has come out for me in regards to love. And so, especially with the song lyrics going, love is like a marble, and also luck is like a marble, I think that it could be split. I think that for some of you, this unexpected thing coming in could be a person that you're meeting. But it also, for some of you, it could just also be an unexpected opportunity. So maybe, I think that right now you're working hard towards something. Maybe you're like dreaming or fantasizing about something like a big break. And I think that it is going to be coming to you, but it's going to be coming to you so unexpectedly. This is a little bit giving me like the Star card energy, if I'm being honest. But let's see if any other cards want to come out about it. Ooh, okay, so beautiful. So we also have the 8 of Wands, the 4 of Wands, and the 5 of Swords. Okay, interesting. So I'm going to get clarifying cards for each of these. I'm going to get clarifying cards actually from a different deck. So let's see. I think that definitely... So, yeah, I'm specifically interested about this 5 of Swords because it definitely could have been in the past that, And, you know, it could just be referencing the fact that you've been sort of fantasizing about this big break, about meeting some person, your perfect person, or like getting this dream job or something. And you've been fantasizing about it, and you felt like you've been so close in the past. You felt like this 8 of Pentacles was about to turn into the 9 and then 10 of Pentacles, but you just hadn't been able to achieve it. That could be what it's saying, but there also could be the potential that whatever is sort of unexpectedly making its way to you is not actually like, you know, the final form of the thing to come. But we'll see what cards come out to clarify. So the King of Cups getting clarified by the Page of Wands, which is just sort of reiterating to me that for a lot of you, I think this is going to be a love interest type thing, but also for a lot of you, it could truly be something just about, you know, your career. Maybe, you know, for example, if you're a singer, this could be like you getting noticed, or you having a song go viral, or if you like you make content or something, this could be something, yeah, just going viral or something, you being seen. It really is giving me star card energy. But it's interesting because the Page of Wands, another card that is typically not seen as any sort of really relationship type card, but it comes out, and it has been coming out specifically for me in regards to romance readings. For me in my personal life, just like the 8 of Pentacles, which is very interesting. So I think that also, oh my god, I see a cardinal right now, you guys. You guys, that is beautiful. I'm like in the city too, you guys. I wish I could turn this camera and show you. It's just sitting, oh, it went away now. Guys, I'm in the city, straight up. I'm in the most complicated moving process ever right now. I just moved to the city. Like, I didn't even think there were cardinals here, you guys. Like, that was beautiful. That could definitely be a sign for you that this person or thing is near. Or, oh my god, that was so beautiful. But anyway, oh my god, I can't get over that. Because I've been seeing a bird fly out of the corner of my eye, and I get a glimpse of that every time. But all the time I think, is that a cardinal? But it's always just a robin. But this time it really was. But anyway, oh my god, sorry for the tangent, you guys. But so I think that this also, for a lot of you, this could be something like, you know, God, not to put this sort of name on it, but this could be you guys meeting something like your twin flame. Something that's like not only, that's sort of like the mix between your career and passion and hobbies, but also like love. And I think that's why the 8 of Pentacles and the Page of Wands specifically is such a motif and a repetitive messages for me in my romance readings, because I am in, you know, twin flame type connections. So those are very, you know, it's like, it's a connection that I can tell is very deeply intertwined also with just like my life's mission in general. And so I think that this could be something of a similar energy. If you guys do feel like, you know, you meeting your person is also deeply connected to you finding your soul's purpose, I think that this could be telling you you could really be meeting that purpose, or that person soon. You guys probably have already been curating your life's purpose and curating the ability to see that life's purpose through, and that's probably why this person is coming in so soon. But then we have the 5 of Wands, with this clarifying the 8 of Pentacles. Yeah, I think that you're feeling very stubborn. You're wanting, you feel like you're gonna stay at the 5 of Wands. You feel like you're ever only going to be about to tip over into finally getting this thing, this connection, this opportunity that you want. I feel like you don't feel like you can really achieve this. High Priestess clarified by the Temperance card. I think that also maybe, you know, you could be obsessing about this a lot. It could really be in your head, you thinking about this thing. Like, maybe you just all the time think about, you know, your person, or like your twin flame or something, or you always constantly fantasize about a song going viral or something. And I think there is one thing to be said about, you know, fantasizing, because I think sometimes it can get us really giddy and excited. You know, especially me, I have such a vivid imagination. It can really help me manifest specifically things if I can visualize them so strongly, and it helps put me in that excited energy, feeling like they're really there. But then also it can be very ungrounding. It can cause you to feel very discontent where you're currently at, when you focus too much on where you want to be. So I think that you just need to sort of balance out fantasizing about this thing, because it's very much going to just hit you unexpectedly. And I mean wholeheartedly, unexpectedly. So I mean, like, it's not going to be, you're not going to be even thinking about this reading when it happens. So I mean, like, you know, it's going to be long enough after this reading where you're going to basically forget about it. And then I think maybe, you know, a little bit later, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, it happened. But I mean, in the moment, you're not going to really be expecting it to happen. And it's going to just hit you. So 8 of Wands clarified by the 2 of Wands. Yeah, both expansion cards, both about like forward movement. But this one's about a lot of action, forward movement. You know, he's shooting an arrow, so he's obviously looking somewhere, he's aiming somewhere. But the 2 of Wands is a much more, you know, they step back and they're almost like observing the guy shooting the arrow. And so I think that you're being called to not really actively step towards this thing, honestly, right now. You know, you're being called to just sort of do the things associated with connecting to this thing. I'm saying things so much, I'm sorry, I'm being so vague. You're being called to really only do the things that make you excited about thinking about this. So it's, you know, if you feel like you're consuming so many tarot readings about this connection, about this twin flame connection, that it's actually making you feel a little anxious or, you know, ungrounded or dissociative, you're being called to stop that. But, you know, alternatively, if you know that watching tarot readings makes you really excited about this thing, then you're being called to do that. Or, you know, you're being called to write the music that you want to go viral, but maybe, you know, marketing it is really stressful for you. And so you're being called to, you know, you don't have to do that part right now, but maybe you can just make the content and, you know, with the intention that it's going to, you know, be very successful. And then we have the Page of Cups clarifying the 4 of Wands. So yeah, you're going to be building a foundation with this thing. I think that honestly, you know, I did have the question before with the 5 of Swords, with you know, whether or not this thing that you're coming into is going to be the real deal. And I think that it's going to be, but I think that you are going to encounter a few you know, deceptive other energies beforehand that aren't really this marble moment. Funny word for it. But so I think basically, going again with the example of, you know, getting your breakout viral song if you're a musician, maybe it could be that maybe you have one song that goes viral, but maybe nothing really happens from it. And this is telling you, or maybe it goes viral, but like that viralness doesn't have the output, like the impact that you think it is. This is telling you that actually, no, the thing that's going to come, the real thing, is going to have the outcome that you sort of anticipate, but also so much more. So it's saying like, well, actually, like, maybe you have one song go viral, but you're going to have another song that goes viral, and that's going to be the one that gets you like a record deal or something. Or, you know, maybe it's, you do meet a person, or, you know, maybe you meet someone, and you think it could be your twin flame, but maybe that's actually just a false twin. Maybe you meet someone and you know, it's just sort of a little bit less than perfect. Maybe you meet someone and they are just like, you know, there's just that one thing. They meet all but one criteria for you, and you're like, oh, but, you know, this is them. No, that's not them. Like, the real person is coming. Yeah, so the 5 of Swords, the Hermit. So, oh, sorry guys, this is so like shifted. I'm gonna move them all over. But I think that you're being called to, interesting, pile 1 also had Hermit, the Hermit card come out. I think that you're being called to really sit in your own energy and to self-reflect on your standards and what you want to sort of ward off these false things. And so, I mean, for things like, you know, just a song going viral but it not really giving you the output that you wanted it to, I don't think that this is going to like have any sort of, that's not going to have a negative impact in your life. But, you know, you're being called to think for things like, you know, relationships and false twins, you're being called to really like introspect and think about what you want out of connections to make sure that you know, you don't accidentally commit yourself to someone that ultimately you're gonna end things with, because they're not the true person. They're the false twin. They're not the true twin. And you know that maybe this is even still a person that you could have a good relationship with, maybe even a great relationship with, but you just know that they're not the relationship that you've been fantasizing about. And I think that you're being called to hold out for the absolute best, because it's going to come. It may take a little bit of time, but it's going to come. But okay, let's see if there are like any other cards, any other messages that want to come out. Because I feel like that was all just sort of like the same energy. Yeah, I think it was that we were talking about. So let's see if there are any other unrelated messages that want to come out through the Mundane Magic Tarot deck. Or the Magic Mundane Tarot deck. I honestly totally forget which part it is, which one it is, which order. Let's see, any other messages, channeled messages from the loved ones, the higher selves of pile 2's loved ones. So we have 2, the Fool, and we have the Engineer of Lattes, which is the Page of Cups, I want to say. Let's see. Or what's the Engineer? No, the Engineer's the King. Oh, guys. King of Cups. So you guys, oh my god, the King of Cups again. So this, like you guys, I guess they just really wanted to keep talking about this. So I guess there were other messages that needed to come through in regards to this. So this King of Cups says, compassion and forgiveness. Compassion and forgiveness, the human embodiment of, won't you be my neighbor? When you fix your gaze on someone, you know what you're doing, feel their defenses fall, disarmed, knowing they're truly seen, emotional authenticity, the kind that can only have been built with years of experience. So guys, I think that this is really saying, specifically for those of you who are looking for like a connection, this is saying that you're gonna know, you know? If you're having to sort of like reassure yourself that this person is it, then I kind of think that person is not it. I think that this person that is going to be this marble that you just stumble upon randomly, they're going to be someone that you can't miss, you know, like a King of Cups coming here twice. But I think that, yeah, they're going to be someone that when you see them, when you lock eyes with them, or, you know, after you are exposed to their energy, you're just going to know. Yeah, like, you're gonna have to put in energy convincing yourself how this person is not it, if anything. You're not, yeah. And then we also have the Fool. So it says notebook spines cracking, opened for the first time, chaos, naivety, I don't know how to pronounce it, uncertainty, limitless potential, newborn screams, jump. Ooh, so, oh my gosh, for some of you guys could be having a kid, or maybe that's like the thing that you guys really want. Maybe you guys are trying to get pregnant, and I think that it's going to happen for you guys. Or, you know, that's just a separate message. Maybe you guys just are hoping that, you know, hoping to meet the person with whom you can have a child or a family with, and you're being called to remember that that is going to happen, but to like sort of, yeah, just keep at your standards, or to stand by your standards very strongly. You know, this is also giving me the message of like, you know, think carefully about who you want to like procreate with, you know. You're not gonna, this isn't just gonna be any old person that you bring into your life. This is gonna be the person that you commit yourself to, I'm expecting. So don't just settle for any old thing, you know, settle for exactly what you know is going to be right for you. Yeah, but I think that there's going to be definitely something new that's beginning. I think that, you know, let's actually get another card about the Fool, because I actually think that that could be potentially a new thing. Let's get, I mean, the backpack is giving me energy of student, so maybe some of you guys are also like, you guys could be starting something. Maybe that's what this is referring to. Maybe you're waiting for a program. Oh, something that came out is, you know, maybe you're waitlisted for a program, and so you assume that you didn't get in and you just committed yourself somewhere else. But, you know, I think that you could very well get into that program in the end. Or maybe it's, you know, you just haven't heard back from something, in a job, anything. You assume you didn't get it, but you are going to get it. Or maybe there are jobs, you're trying to change jobs, trying to change programs, and you don't think you're good enough for one, but you're being called to go for it, you know. I saw a post the other day that was on Twitter that was all about, why you should apply for jobs you're unqualified for. So, maybe there's a job that you guys feel you're unqualified for that's like your dream job, and you're being called to go for it, to step towards it, because it could very well work out for you. So Fool clarified by the Two of Lighters, which is the Two of Wands, and we have the Two of Wands right here. I absolutely adore all of the repetitive messages and the confirmations, because it's just sort of, reiterating the importance of this message, and also reiterating to me that this is sort of supposed to be the focal point of your reading. But let's see, we have the Pupil of Coins, which is the Page of Coins, also clarifying it. So for some of you, this could definitely be something like maybe moving somewhere new. Maybe there's a dream program across the country or something. Or maybe there's a school that you always fantasized about going to, but you thought it was too far away to be feasible, or you thought it was too expensive. But you're being called to apply for it, because you could very well get a scholarship. Maybe this place, maybe it's very far away, maybe it's on the other side of the country, or in a different country, and maybe that country or that other side of the country is a place that you'll really grow to love. You're being called to step out on a limb, even if it scares you a little bit, or even if you have doubts in how well it's going to turn out. Because I think that luck is on your side, and it's going to be something unexpected. And I think that this is going to be something that, even as you're actively doing it, applying for it, etc., going out, maybe you go to a dating event, you don't expect anything to come from it, but you meet the love of your life there, but you get into that program, you get a scholarship to the program. Things are going to work out for you. Okay, we're going to get a word of advice to close the reading. How wonderful. So this was a fun message to deliver, because it was kind of just you're gonna stumble upon this blessing. You're gonna have to there are gonna be a few things that you're also gonna have to stumble over that are not this blessing, that maybe you'll think is gonna be this blessing, but no. It's giving me the vibe of you're gonna keep stubbing your toe on chunks of rock on the ground, but maybe the fifth chunk of rock on the ground, you look down and it's actually a chunk of gold, and you're like, oh my god, I'm rich now because I stubbed my toe and looked at it. Thorns, weave together the crown you deserve. So I think this is telling you to, by weave together, I think it's telling you to sort of really have an idea in your mind of what you want this marble to be that you stumble upon, so that you can very easily detect when these things that you do stumble upon are not that precious marble. When you're being called to really have a clear picture in your mind of what this chunk of gold looks like, so that you can distinguish it from just a golden piece of rock. For example, pyrite, maybe all the things you stumble upon are pyrite. You're being called to really research and focus on what gold is and its properties, so that you can recognize it when you see it. You're being called to really reflect on the qualities you want in a partner, not just, physical things, but I mean things like what their passions are, what their morals are, their personality, what they're like in a relationship, what their love languages are. You're being called to really think and contemplate about those. You're being called to think about, what do you want from a program? What do you want out of a college degree? What do you want out of a scholarship opportunity or out of a job? What do you want your coworkers to be like? What do you want the environment to be like? The physical location environment, but then also maybe just the social environment, or your home or anything. Being called to absolutely picture the life that you want, the dream life, so that the dream life stemming from this one tangible thing that you're hoping for. You're being called to envision exactly what that thing is that you're hoping for, and then envision how that thing is going to impact your life, so that you can notice when you stumble upon that thing, if it's that thing to begin with, and 2, if how that thing impacts your life is how the thing you've been hoping for is going to impact your life. So there are 2 things you can look out for. You can look out for how this thing looks, and then you can look out for, or how this thing looks, acts, exists in the world, and then how that thing impacts your life. Those are going to be the 2 things that can help you decipher if this is actually the marble, the true marble, or if you have to keep walking for a little bit to get to that marble to stumble upon it. But okay, guys, I think that is all the messages I have for you. I adored that reading. I love these readings, this reading that I've been doing. Comment if you guys like it and want me to do more like this, because I gotta be real, like, I'm a new tarot channel, and so views and, you know, watch time and everything is very low when I post these sort of readings that are sort of like the more wholesome, you know, channel messages readings, and less so like the future spouse love readings, which I also love. But so I do these a little sparingly because I love them, but I know that they don't give me exactly the same energetic output as I put into them. So definitely comment if you guys do really, you know, like this reading, or if any of you guys do really enjoy these sorts of readings that are more geared towards, you know, self-development, and yeah, more geared towards the self and less geared towards your external connections. But yeah, let me know. But regardless, have a nice night, day, whenever you're watching this, and I will see you guys in the next one. Hey, pile 3, if you chose this little turtle guy, this is going to be your reading all about channeled messages from the higher selves of your loved ones. So yeah, I had no idea that he was missing a foot until I put him out for these groups. And I think that's because he had a foot last time he was put in my little charm box. And this is like a nice Swarovski crystal, so kind of upset about that. Let's see if that missing foot has anything to do with the messages that you have for you today. So let's see, messages from pile 3's loved ones, higher selves. Let's see, any messages that come out. 3 of Pentacles. Okay, so I think that you're gonna be working on something, making the 3 of Pentacles. It always gives me like the energy of 2 people contributing 1 pentacle, and then those 2 people with their, you know, respective pentacles making an additional pentacle together. So it's giving me energy of teamwork. But then 8 of Swords, so I think there is something unexpected about this. Let's see, these are very like, the other groups had sort of more obvious energies come out very quickly. This one I feel like I'm gonna have to dig a little deeper for the messages. I will say, yeah, so the Swarovski crystal, like, it's obviously, those are like very fancy crystals. They're very expensive. They're very high end and very niche as well. My siblings are just obsessed with them, so they collected a bunch of them, and this is one of theirs, old ones. So you could have like a very, you know, Taurus-like energy to you. You could have like, you know, that sort of fancy want for nice things. So we have the Strength card and also the Page of Cups. So this is interesting. I'm feeling like maybe you guys are like, maybe you're working, I think that you're working towards something, towards making something, but I feel like it may be a little emotionally immature. Well, 6 of Cups. So I think that it may be something from your past, so like something that emotionally connected you to your past. So, I'm gonna, let's see, let's get some clarifying cards from this. Should we get it from this deck? Yeah, let's get it from this deck. So I'm honestly, immediately the energy that I'm getting is interesting. I feel like there's probably something from your past that you feel very tied to, some way of life, or it could even be something like, I don't know, like a sport, a career path. Yeah, like for some of you, it could be a religion, could be a sexuality, a gender identity, something like that. That you are emotionally tied to the past, but like what's keeping you tied to it is sort of just blind faith and blind dedication. I feel like this Eight of Swords is like you putting yourself in that situation. I'm getting now that this Three of Pentacles is like you're contributing one pentacle, the world around you or your situation is contributing the other pentacle, they're contributing that expectation that they're setting upon you, and then you're sort of taking the two pentacles alone, and you're trying to make the third pentacle. Because I don't think that this thing that you're going towards is really, I don't think it's super in line with you. I don't think that it's so not what's in line with you, but I'm feeling like there's just a little something that's not quite right about this. So yeah, this could be, and I think that this is like a sort of like a big overarching thing. And I think that the reason why it's probably coming from the higher selves of your loved ones is to just reassure you that they're gonna, still love you regardless of anything, and that they'll stand by you, especially the Six of Cups coming out. Because the Six of Cups was a little confusing at first, because I wasn't getting. I mean, the Six of Cups usually tells me about love and past, and also like deep familial love, and a lot of the times romantic love, and I wasn't really getting that this is much about romantic love, but I think it could be, referencing the deep familial love that your loved ones have for you. Hold on. This card fell. King of Cups. Interesting. The King of Cups has been coming out so much. I think, the King of Cups has come out in every single pile so far, which is crazy. And the King of Cups clarifying the Page of Cups. So I think that this is something, it's like you're not really thinking much about it, whatever this is, but you will starkly defend it. And that's how you can sort of tell whatever this thing is that I'm talking about. I know I'm being a little vague, but so this is something like, if you guys have been brought up like in a religion, and maybe this is a religion, maybe you have a very strong sense of God and spirituality, but maybe you're not really, maybe if you think about it or reflect on it, you're not that tied to that specific religion. And maybe, but you don't even want to think like that, because that's like, the religion that your family is raised you in. It's, it's a tradition. And so it's going to be the vibes of you guys are just sort of like willingly like blindfolding yourselves so that you don't have to see, or you're not even introspecting or reflecting on whether or not this religion is for you. You're just sort of going along with it. But then, so you're very emotionally, you're emotionally invested in this thing, but in like a very underdeveloped way. You're emotionally invested in it because you have a lot of emotions in general for God or spirituality, but you're a little immature, and you're not really curating, or you're not discovering where you should put these emotions yourself. You're not, you're still delegating your spiritual beliefs to your family and those around you. And even though you do think that this is just you following tradition, and that's what it is, there's still like a level of cognitive dissonance to it. So you're still having to actively, there's some energy of where, if people even ask you like, oh, are you religious? And then you say, yeah, I go to church all the time with my family and belong to this religion. We've all grown up in it. And they're like, whoa, I didn't know that. I had no idea you were religious. And then like maybe people saying things like that like really triggers you. And it makes you like super defensive about it, and maybe you're like, oh well, yeah, I am. Or maybe this person says something and they're like, oh well, personally I'm not that against, or I'm not, in favor of organized religion. And then maybe you just like that super triggers you, and maybe it triggers you because that's like an underlying thing that you feel you may agree with, but you just you haven't wanted to actually dive into that thought process because those truths would be uncomfortable to uncover. And so similarly, this could be something like your sexuality. Maybe you just don't even want to contemplate about your sexuality because you just simply don't want to have to deal with, possibly not being straight and then having to like come out to people or something. There's just some level of like willingly turning a blind eye so that you don't have to rock the boat when it comes to your family connections. So I think that your loved ones are coming through, their higher selves are coming through to tell you that the ones that are meant to stick around are going to stick around. The good ones are going to stick around. The important ones are going to stick around. The ones that you have a true bond with. And I mean, I think that they're also kind of they're telling you that, this Six of Cups, you can make this energy with anyone. Oh, this is so annoying. It's slanted. These things are all the time. Sorry, guys. I'm just gonna move them all. But I think that, you can make this Six of Cups with anything. You can make this energy with anyone in your life. All it requires is a genuine soul that you have a genuine connection with. And if I'm being honest, a lot of the times, guys, we don't even have those connections with our true blooded family members, or adopted family members. We don't have genuine connections with the people that we were just sort of thrust into a family with a lot of the times. A lot of the times, these true, genuine, heartfelt connections come from outside sources. And so I think that you're being called to remember that, like, even if anyone, like, because it feels like right now this isn't a nefarious energy where you're at. So, this is telling me maybe you're not maybe your entire life, it hasn't been that you think you're like gay, but maybe it's like, your whole life, you've been in connections with both, with all genders, but maybe you recently realize you're like asexual or something. And it doesn't really affect, it doesn't really affect so much of your connections, but you're just like, you're worried to tell people in case it does affect your connections, So it's not like you presenting as straight your whole life while secretly you're gay. But it's like, it's not saying that the connections you have had and you will have are like, just like fake connections. Like, I think that they were still genuine connections, but there's just like, you weren't completely authentically on the path that you wanted to be on. I don't know if I'm conveying this very well, but it's some energy of like, it's like if this is something like a career path, like it's not like you hate this career path, like, but maybe it's just like the true career path that is actually meant for you is just simply something a little different. Maybe like your family is like all a family of doctors and they've been pressuring you to be a doctor, and you want to be a doctor, but maybe actually, and you've thought you wanted to be a doctor, you don't really think about it, you take all the steps to being a doctor, but then maybe if you step back and think about it, you'll realize you actually want to be a therapist or something. So, you're not so far different, you're still like helping people, being of service, but it's just like it's a different route. And I think that it may just really take a lot for you to even open your eyes to see the possibility that maybe you should go a different route with something else. And I think that that's also why it sort of took me so long to sort of get that message out, because I don't think that right now you're not exactly on such a glaringly wrong path. You're just on a path that was simply forged by other people, It wasn't a path that you forged for yourself. And I think you're being called mainly right now to step back and think about, where would I be if I wasn't born into this family, into these situations? Where would I be if I was just like one person completely somewhere else? Where would I have ended up, or where would I have wanted to end up? Would I have still ended up here? So for the example of like religion, it's asking like, would I still be this tied to this religion even if I was raised in a family of a completely different religion? Or do I feel like I would still have these feelings, but just simply for that religion instead? And I think that a lot of you will realize, like actually I do see now that I think that my situation probably would have changed if I was born into a different situation. And I think that's telling you or warning you or just highlighting to you that these things, this path that you're on, it's not exactly the path that you have to be on. It just happens to be the path that you were born into, that your situation has like led you to, your family situation for most of you, I feel like. Or it could even be like, a community or something that's just, well, honestly, it just feels like an expectation put on you by all of those around you. Honestly, quite frankly, put on you by like the 3D selves of the people I'm getting channeled messages from, And it feels like these people's higher selves are coming down and telling you like, hey, like, we still love you, like, I'm sorry, like, this is just the path that we've all been on and it's worked out for a lot of other people, but don't feel pressured at all, or feel free to make a different move if that's what you want to do. And I think that if you do like take off those blindfold, you will realize that that is truly sort of what you want. Let's get some other messages though. Let's get some messages from my other tarot deck just to see if like, anything else wants to come out. So I'm gonna like just put these a little. I love that the 6 of Cups was clarified by the 10 of Cups, because that does tell me that, even though I am getting a little bit of a blocked energy from the 6 of Cups, which is just telling me that maybe it is like, a little bit of worry about pushback from your loved ones. Maybe that's why you're not really open to thinking about going on a different path. But yeah, the 10 of Cups clarifying it tells me that, you will end up with fulfillment. Even if, some family members or some loved ones do get upset with you, I think, yeah, you're just being called to really remember, like, who you are, what your energy is, what's important for you. I know that for some people, maybe the validation of their family is truly what brings them a lot of happiness. But I think that you're also being called to remember, when it comes to things like, career or something like that, that's where you spend the majority of your life. And so it's not like, yes, the validation of your family is a huge thing to consider. You don't, if your family's the type of people to like, cut you off for, not going to med school or something, I mean, I think maybe some of you, your family's so important to you that you would rather go to med school, but I think that, you're being called to remember that it's going to be your life that you're going, your life is going to med school. You are going to med school. You are going to have to be a doctor when you're older for, 8 hours of your day. And so you need to remember that, that's also something valid to consider. Make sure to be fair to yourself. You can think about other people, but also make sure you're thinking about yourself to the extent that you feel comfortable with. So we have 4 of Cups coming out. So, yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm feeling like that's the energy of it. Could be even that you're really being presented even right now with a lot of opportunities for something else, for an opportunity to like diverge from this path that you're on right now that's been forged for you. But I don't think you're willing to. I don't think that you're wanting to take any of these opportunities. 4 of Pentacles, yeah, you're being very protective of it. And it's interesting because this, the traditional tarot has the person sort of like hovering over the pentacle, being very obviously defensive and protective. But this girl's just sort of sitting on a checkerboard by herself with her pentacles. So it seems mostly, honestly, it feels like she just sort of left everyone and went off with her 4 pentacles by herself, and she's like, finally I'm safe here, I can be protected here. Feels like you are truly like isolating yourself from any potential other path. Like it feels like you are just like simply refusing to see any other possibility. This is you, like if this is about something like sexuality, this is you just like simply not even thinking about like gay people or like anything else. It's you just being like, nope, I simply refuse to think about sexuality. And then we have 2 of Cups also. So maybe for some of you this truly is something like when it comes to something like romantic connections. I mean, this is something silly, but this could even resonate for some of you. Maybe some of you guys have like a long-term partner that your family's really close to, that you've known for forever, and everyone's just sort of always assumed you'd get married or to end up together. And maybe recently you're feeling like you just simply want to change. Maybe you just, you feel like you're just growing and you're changing from this person. But, you feel pressure to stay with them. But yeah, once again, you're being called to think mostly about your own happiness. 3 of Wands, so you could definitely also be, maybe like the potential for changing paths could take you somewhere new. I think that also separately, just going on trips could be very good for you, escaping a little bit from, just like responsibilities, especially from just sort of the energy of the people that are putting these expectations onto you. I think that, just all of these piles pretty much have had this meaning or this message come through in some way. I think that isolating yourself or just spending like quality time with yourself and maybe a new place, a little vacation would be very good to help you sort of reconnect with, with just like your adventurous side, with the potential of starting something new. I think that right now you're focused really on the comfort of where you're at in your present situation, and I feel like you're being called to put yourself in new situations in different ways so that you can sort of start to get excited by the concept of change again. So, go out, like make some spontaneous decisions. Maybe you're the type to really find a lot of comfort in routine, but I think that you're now being called to try and find some excitement and happiness and fulfillment in spontaneity. And I think that that sort of spontaneity will help you, put you in the mood and the energy and the vibe to make other changes in your life. Then we have the 10 of Swords. Yeah, I think that you guys could honestly be very exhausted. I think that whatever this thing is, for some of you guys, it could also it could be something very small, like maybe it's literally something like, you got a job and maybe you had like some doubts about it because there's like just something, maybe it's just like not the most exciting job, but it pays well and all of the other check boxes are checked or whatever. Maybe your family's really excited about this job opportunity too, but you're just like, ugh, you didn't really think it was the best for you, and maybe now or you just weren't that excited by it, and now you're in it and you've been really exhausted, and it's going to really exhaust you. There's just some energy where you're just so, and I feel like this is expectations. Like, I feel like you don't even realize that these 10 swords have been built up in yourself. I think that these are just the expectations of the people around you, and I don't think that you're realizing how heavy this burden has been, and I think that you're really being called to try and to ease those burdens by, reconnecting with yourself and reconnecting with people who don't have those expectations. And I think that it could really be that not many people in your life don't have these expectations of you. Maybe everyone in your life is somehow connected to this thing, because maybe this thing is a really big thing. Maybe this path that you've been on is something like a relationship or a connection with someone who's close to those around you. Maybe it is something like, a religion that everyone around you has. But so if that's the case, then I think you're being called to sort of sit in your own energy and spend time with yourself, physically away from other people. And we also have the 10 of Wands right after that. So yeah, that's 10 of Swords is telling me that this is like, pain that is inflicted upon you, like inadvertently by the people around you, by the swords on you. But then, the 10 of Wands is burdens carried. So I think that this is both like a burden that you're carrying, but something that's also like actively almost killing your spirit. Because I think that it is, whatever this thing is, it is kind of like detaching you from your sense of self. It's detaching you from your natural moral compass, because it's naturally like to maintain your drivenness and on this path, you have to do some like sort of willing or willful ignoring, or willfully being blind to something. So I think that oh my god, where was I going with that? I truly don't even remember. It took me so long to like process like the word willful that I totally forgot where I was going. But regardless, anyway, yeah, I was talking about the Ten of Swords. Oh yeah, it's like so, like you had to turn such a blind eye to your emotions when it comes to being on this path that you've become very disconnected from those emotions because you've had to just you're like, okay, my whole family's Christian. If I don't want to fall out with my family, I'm going to be Christian. I know I'm religious, so or I know I believe in God, so let's just go with it. It works, it's fine. But so you're not really connecting deeply to your sense of God because you're so preoccupied with fending off any potential thoughts of your relationship with God that could contradict Christianity, because then those thoughts would cause you to second guess whether or not you identify as being a Christian or not. But okay, let's get some closing advice for you. Some closing advice for you from the higher selves of your loved ones. Alright, some advice for pile 3 from the higher selves of their loved ones. So you have, which justice is coming? Okay, so I feel like honestly, so that's interesting because we have which justice is coming, and then we also have justice, and I unintentionally just sort of always just put it over the justice. I didn't even realize that. But I think that this is referring to, I think that your eyes are going to have to be pried open at some point. I think that you will be forced to realize how this thing is not aligned with you. And I think that it's not going to be like a tower moment, but I think it is going to be something like you're just going to be offered some stuff that are aligned with you. And I think eventually you're going to keep being offered things that are more closely aligned with you, that eventually it's going to just force your eyes to be open. And so going with the theme of religion, this is going to be something like, you're going to meet people of other religions, or you're going to just naturally be exposed to rhetoric online about why maybe your religion isn't, or the religion you've identified with is wrong or something, or just you'll be faced with just from all angles, you'll go online and you'll see someone's rant against that religion, then you'll see a tweet about it, and then maybe you'll read a book about it, or maybe you'll just for school you'll learn something against it or something, or it's even also just you'll learn about the right religions, you'll go onto Facebook and you'll see a post about why this person loves their religion that's different than yours, or you'll just see something that is so obviously more in line with you that and you'll just keep being exposed to these things that are more in line with you. Eventually it's going to force you to open your eyes. But then we have bitch fire, stand up for yourself. Yeah, I think that's telling you stand up for yourself. I'm getting this energy of girl, stand up and get that cup that's being offered to you. So it's telling you stand up and make your justice be delivered to you, hand deliver it to yourself. Don't you can't sit back and watch these things as they present themselves to you and wait to be convinced by them. But I think that also you're being called to sort of take control of the situation and to sort of also jointly look out for these things that are better resonating with you, Stand up for yourself. If you feel called to, stand up to your family members or the people pressuring you into this thing, into this path. Even if they're not pressuring you about it, maybe if it could even be something if they just say something small, joking, just correcting them. So maybe this is something, maybe it could be something about your sexuality, and maybe you've just always assumed you were straight. And maybe your family, they've been accepting of gay people, but maybe they see it as a little taboo, and maybe they, make jokes about it. So maybe this is you just standing up to them and telling them not to make jokes about sexualities, and then eventually, you realize that actually maybe you're gay or bi or asexual or pansexual or something like that, and then you come out to them. But yeah, just like stand up to the people around you and try to make this justice happen for yourself. But okay, pile number 3, I'm gonna leave it there. I hope you guys liked this reading. And I think, okay, well, just a final message, honestly. I think that's how this turtle losing its leg relates to it. I think that, it is something like, you thought this path would be all Swarovski crystals, but actually, the little guy lost his leg. It's Swarovski crystal turtle minus 1 leg. I think that you can find a path that is truly meant for you, a path that's you don't have to do a lot of willful cognitive dissonance towards. Yeah, I think that the sort of the disappointment, it's gonna feel like, it's also reminding me of, like the guy who got stuck in like a boulder or something, had to like chew off his arm or something. It's giving me the energy of that, I feel like you're stuck between a rock and a hard place right now, and you do need to sort of stand up for yourself, and you need to get yourself out of that rut. And it is like, I mean, there is going to be an energy of, like, people are going to give you the knife and everything, but you're going to have to be the one who is going to have to, like, take it and cut off your arm and get out of that boulder or get out of that tight space. Like, you're going to be shown all of these things, but it is a little bit up to you whether or not you accept these alternate routes that are more aligned with you. Ultimately, you can stay on this path pre-forged for you, but I think that you will ultimately make yourself very uncomfortable in the end if you do. But okay, I'm actually going to leave it there. If you like this reading, feel free to like, comment, or subscribe. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Pile number 3. Bye, guys. Hey, pile 4. Sorry, I almost called you pile 3. Hello, pile 4. If you choose this domino, this will be your reading all about channel messages from your loved ones' higher selves. So first of all, the domino has 5 dots on it, and I did sort of intuitively choose the dominoes. So I had like a box full of dominoes, and I, intended to get a domino from it specifically for this pile. And so I think that the number 5, 5 signifies changes. And so I think that you guys could be on the precipice of some sort of change in your life, or, maybe you're just trying to build foundation for the change. Because, I mean, the way dominoes works is you take the time to meticulously set them up one by one, and then all of a sudden, all at once, you knock them down, and, it's like a tower moment, basically. It all just comes crumbling down, and I mean, it's the intended outcome, but it's still, rapid change set about very quickly. Rapid change that you knew about, that you were planning for, but that still comes about very quickly, and sort of all at once. So I'm interested to see exactly what messages come through. I think that right off the bat, I think that the higher selves of your loved ones would like to say that they admire you for your strength and being able to change your life circumstances. Even if this isn't something that they would say to you to your face, their 3D selves, I think their higher selves are very proud of you. You could be a very fiery person. I'm getting a lot of action-oriented energy towards you, a lot of fiery energy just in, the action of, meticulously building up the dominoes, but also in tearing them down. You guys could be Sagittarius, you could be Leos, you guys could be Capricorns as well. I'm also getting some earth energy from the dominoes. Completely separately, a little bit, the song Dominoes by Lorde may be important. That song basically just talks about how, I think it's about an ex, basically, who's just a guy that goes around fleetingly from one person to one person, from one situation to the next, without a care in the world except for filling his own cup and doing his own, whatever brings him happiness in the moment. And, Lorde says, she says, it must feel nice feel good being Mr. Start again. She says, you get 50 gleaming chances in a row, and I watch you knock them all down like dominoes. It must be nice being Mr. Start again. And so I think that, one, there's an energy of, I think that you're able to be Mr. Start again, not in like the problematic way that guy is, but I think that you're able to, like, you know, pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and get going, you know? You're willing to push down all those dominoes after you put up the hard work and, you know, resurrecting them all and placing them all meticulously in a line. You're able to, like, make the hard decision to just, like, nope, snap, let's break them down, let's start over again. You know, you're able to make the hard decisions even if they're uncomfortable. And I think that also there could have been a lot of like bad energies in your life also, like just a lot of people that you've had to sort of start over from. And we have Page of Wands, which is always interesting. I'm gonna immediately get just a clarifying card for it because it's interesting. It's a card that does, you know, personally signifies something about relationships for me, but so I'm, let's see if it has anything to do with that domino energy I was just picking up with your, honestly, the energy I'm also getting from this domino is like Scorpio energy, because it is like a lot of tower type energy that I'm getting. So we have 10 of Pentacles, Page of Wands being clarified by the 10 of Pentacles. So I think that this is talking about, honestly, I'm getting the energy of like you from this song. Like I'm getting like you're Mr. Start again. You're the guy that she's singing about, but not, again, not in a problematic way. But I'm feeling like, you know, you're gonna, you know, the fact that the Page of Wands is clarified by the 10 of Pentacles, I think that you're just like, you know, you're just like gonna be coming into a period of your life where you just get to like experience so many different things. Like so much variety and prosperity. Honestly, also a message that was coming out with the Page of Wands is, you know, you guys could be experiencing a lot of like, you know, great sex coming up. And then with the 10 of Pentacles clarifying it, I'm feeling like this is just like, basically just, I think that you're being blessed in a lot of like sensual ways. You know, so I'm you know, not just great sex, but I think that maybe, you know, your career could be taking off, or maybe you'll just like, I don't even think it's big things like that. I think it's mostly going to be small things like in your vicinity. So we also had the Queen of Swords that came out, but I think it's going to be like, you know, you just, you know, maybe you find just like $20 on the ground. I think that you're just going to be coming into a time of luck, but not so much luck so much as just the universe showering you in like sensual sensory pleasures. Queen of Swords is telling me though you're going to be a little bit emotionally closed off. I don't think that this is going to be a period of time where you're really going to be digging deep into any specific energies. Like I don't think that, so I'm going to say I don't think that this is going to be you like maybe finding like this, your career passion or your life's purpose or your divine counterpart. I think this is mostly you're going to be in a period of your life, or you're in a period of your life right now where you're testing out a bunch of different stuff, almost like you're like a little video game player trying on different outfits. It's going to be you like getting to have a lot of, you know, great sex with a lot of people, going on a lot of fun dates, maybe with people you don't have any intention of going on another date with or seeing in a sexual way ever again, but you know, great experiences that you do have. Maybe it's you like taking up just a part-time gig that's fun and it gives you money, but it's not anything serious. Maybe it's you like starting a hobby, but I am getting sort of like, I'm not really getting like long-term committed vibes from these things. I'm getting like, you know, you'll start a hobby, but like a hobby that you'll be really into, and that's gonna, maybe you'll even produce a lot of great stuff from in a short period of time, but you're only gonna be into it for a finite period of time, you know? This is giving me the vibe also of maybe just someone spontaneously creating a bunch of art, a bunch of different types of art, and almost just sort of like seeing what type sticks. Maybe like going on a lot of Tinder dates, or you know, hanging out with a bunch of like new potential friends, just putting yourself out there a lot, trying to experience new things. The World, yeah, so I think this is beautiful because this is an energy where you're experiencing all these other little things, because eventually you'll take the time to realize the things that are meant for you, that are meant to stick in your life, you know? And I think that right now, though, you're mainly just, right now you're mainly, testing things out, because I think you're meant to be in a very receptive, discerning energy right now. I think that you're supposed to be able to, like, understand, you know, you're supposed to be able to see things for what they are and see things for how they make you feel. And you're supposed to just simply step into, like, the pleasurable side of life. You're supposed to take things less seriously, because I think that eventually there's going to be something coming up that is going to require a little bit more of your time and dedication and effort. But I think right now life is meant to be fun for you. And we have the Five of Cups that also just wanted to, like, you know, flip out, so I'll take it as well. But let's get clarifiers for each of these cards. I think that you're being called to go to a lot of places. If you can, when you have the energy. Honestly, I'm getting that you guys probably do have a lot of energy. I feel like you guys could be, like, very social type of people. But yeah, go to a bunch of places, because I feel like you may, like, just, you know, experience a lot of luck in these places. So this is something, like, like, if you're thinking about going out to a bar or just drinking with your friends at home, like, go to the bar, because it may be that you meet someone who, like, pays for all of your drinks or something. But with the world being clarified by the Five of Cups, yeah, I think this is also an energy you may try to make things stick, but you're being called to just remember that sort of the time period that you're in right now, things aren't supposed to be sticking. They're supposed to be fleeting, because they're supposed to be giving you little tastes of what's to come. I feel almost like these little experiences that you're getting right now are going to just, like, lead to a culmination of an experience that has all of the qualities of these individual experiences combined. So this is giving me vibes of, like, maybe you're just, like, going out dating a bunch right now, you're meeting a bunch of great people, but nothing that anything sticks with. But you're learning, you know, with every new person that you meet, you learn one new quality that you like in a person and that you want in a partner, and maybe also one thing that you don't want in a partner. And so these are all just sort of, I think that eventually down the line, you know, I don't think this is something that you're consciously thinking about, but I think that down the line, eventually you're going to realize, you know, you're going to get something, meet a person, a little bit down the line, if I'm being honest, maybe a little far down the line, you're going to meet someone or get the experience that is all of these things combined, or all of those good things and none of those bad qualities of those partners. But I mean, I think that right now you're really being called to focus on the energy that you're in, and like, feeling empowered in it, because I think that this is a very important place that you're in your journey, because you're supposed to just be feeling good about yourself and life. And so, wow, the Ace of Wands clarified by the Medicine Wheel, which is the Wheel of Fortune. So I think that this is you know, you're making a lot of new, different variety of things happen right now. And you're supposed to be making it all happen. And it's not supposed to be only one thing that you're supposed to make happen, you know? You're being called to not feel like you're supposed to meet your one and only love right now, you know? Don't assume that the next Tinder date you go on is going to be with the love of your life. Just assume that the Tinder date's going to be with a Tinder date. It's going to be with a person that's going to teach you a little bit about what you want in a partner, and maybe it'll be someone that you can have a nice dinner with or go have a nice time with, but, you know, don't read so much into it. And I think that levity is really needed in your life. I think that there are probably other parts of your life that are a little more intense. Maybe you're just, you know, you're going through it a little bit in the career or, you know, school world. Maybe it's just a little exhausting for you. And so I think that you're being called to remember that, like, you know, when the practical parts of your life are a little exhausting, you're supposed to make, you know, your social life and your, you know, your self-care life as peaceful and relaxing as possible. You're supposed to make it as least stressful as possible. If there's one area of your life that's causing a lot of stress, then you're really being called to cut out stress in all the other areas of your life that you can. And we have the Knight of Cups being clarified by the Two of Pentacles. Yeah, I think that you're going to have a little bit difficulty not being too emotionally invested in all of these things, you know? I mean, even with the Lord song that came up, it's like, you know, Mr. Dominoes or Mr. Start Again, flicking everything down like dominoes. It is, you know, an energy of, you know, it's a guy who's going around building different lives for himself, but just being too emotionally invested in those lives. And then, like, just causing a huge ruckus and so much chaos when he decides to just knock it all down and start over somewhere else. You're being called to not even take the time to put up all of the dominoes in one arena, you know? Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't try out one hobby and then force yourself to do it until it's not even enjoyable anymore. You're supposed to be doing things that make you feel good because they make you feel good. You're not supposed to be doing things, you know, because you're expecting them to give you some reward or like specific outcome down the line. So the Five of Cups clarified by the King of Pentacles. Interesting. Yeah, so I think when the time is right, another song came to my head, Peace of Mind by the Killers. It has a line that goes, when the time is right, when the time is right. Basically, the song goes, when the time is right, you'll reach peace of mind. Oh my gosh, I keep like moving these cards so much. Sorry, guys. But so I think that's like sort of a similar energy right now. But I think like the biggest thing to stress is that the time right now is not right. It's not right to like ground something, you know, like the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles gives me Emperor energy, but more grounded, more tempered Emperor energy. But I feel like right now this King of Pentacles, you know, he's sitting down, he's looking ahead, he's holding this pentacle, he's really wanting to make something happen. He's just sitting and waiting. And I think that you're going to be really, I don't know, in some ways, like maybe a little dissatisfied with the fact that you're only making these shallow connections and you're not meeting anyone. But I think it's for a reason. I don't think that you're really in the emotional state right now, and I don't think that, quite frankly, I don't think you have the time and energy to put all of the like resources into a true connection that you would want to or that you would need to. Right now, I think that the only space in your life and the only things really meant to be in your life right now are supposed to be fleeting things that bring you pleasure to elevate your quality of life in the moment. And there's going to be a part of you that's dissatisfied with that because you're going to want to ground things. You know, you're going to want to look at this opportunity and think of it as a stable thing that you can keep in your life. But it isn't going to be that. These are only going to be fleeting things, you know? These are just going to be like hot links that you have great sex with. These are just going to be fun hobbies that you enjoy for a month. Or this is only going to be like, you know, a job or like a little side hustle that's sustainable for a little bit. It's not supposed to have like a stable energy in your life, but it's gonna teach you about things that you enjoy, and it's gonna teach you things about yourself and about the things that you want to have in your life. And eventually down the line, once you get out of the energy and probably once you've cleared up some space in your life and your energetic field, I think that, you know, there is going to be something that comes in that is going to be a little more grounded and emotionally fulfilling in your life, that's going to have the joyous, giddy, excited qualities of these fleeting things that these fleeting things in your life had during this time period. But okay, let's get some mundane magic tarot cards, see if anything else wants to come out. So for pile 4, messages from their loved ones' higher selves. We have, Pupil of Coins, which is, I believe, the Page of Coins. Let me double check. Knight of Coins. Good thing I checked. Knight of Coins. So it says, square, so dependable and predictable they could set a clock to you, but don't take it as an insult. Real manifesting work is not glamorous. You know it in your muscles and bones. You're moving just at your own pace. Never forget the story of the tortoise and the hare. That's so interesting because, the tortoise, turtle, so pile 3 had the turtle, so maybe you guys felt called to that pile. But so this is interesting. This is about like predictability. So I think that that's what maybe right now, it could be right now that you're in a very predictable time of your life. And maybe very soon, after this reading, you're going to be stepping into the part of your life where you have a lot of just these fleeting, sensual, sensory pleasures coming at you. And yeah, you're being called to, with the tortoise and their hair, you're being called to sort of be both the tortoise and the hare. Be slow in this energy, as in, don't be so quick to run right through it, but also be quick, as in, have the speed of the hare and cycling through these things. So it's a confusing message. So, be like the turtle, or the tortoise, be very slow in experiencing these things. Really be in the moment with these sensory pleasures, So if you're having sex, enjoy it. Don't just be thinking the whole time, could I end up with you romantically? You're meant to enjoy it. If you're having sex, you're theoretically having sex because you want to. Don't have sex just because you're wondering if this person is going to be your next partner. Only have sex if you're truly interested in the act of sex. But then, consequently, so be in the moment, be slow with that. Don't be so quick and eager to get over the sex and be like, okay, I experienced it, on to the next thing, let's get this over with. No, like, be slow, be in the moment, be mindful above all. That's what I want to say with the tortoise, be mindful. But then with the hare, you are supposed to hop from one thing to the next. Pardon the pun. You're supposed to hop from one thing to the next. So, you're not supposed to sit with that person after sex and be like, I'm gonna marry you. No, you're supposed to be like, okay, this was great sex, but this person's not a great communicator and we don't have much in common. Okay, let's meet someone else. Let's have sex with someone else that I could have an interest in. And let's see where it goes from there, So it's having the balance between that stuff. But don't take it as an insult. Real manifesting work is not glamorous. You know it in your muscles and bones. Yeah, I think that's telling you that, you're going to be manifesting something through all of these experiences, I don't even know if it's something intentional that you're going to be manifesting, but you're going to be manifesting something big that's going to make you feel good, because it's going to make you feel good in like an accumulation of ways, like in all of these little experiences, all of like, just an example, if you go on like 10 Tinder dates and have sex with like the 10 Tinder date guys or girls or thems, I think that, you're gonna basically like get one thing out of each 10 of those experiences. Maybe you'll learn about like what you enjoy in bed or enjoy from a partner in each of those 10 experiences. And then maybe like down the line, maybe like a year or two later, you're gonna meet a partner who has like all of those things, who's good at all of those things in bed, all of the, like, they have all 10 of those things that 10 of those guys just had, like each single thing, but this person has all 10. Let's see if any other card wants to come out. Two cards wanted to. So we have the Devil. So it says, phantom vibrations, bloodshot eyes straining through unnatural blue light, scroll, thigh gaps, influencers, curated, the face tuned, that time you were picked last in gym class, that group of middle school friends who made you the other. Okay, so I think that honestly, maybe this energy also, maybe you have some stagnant energy in your life right now, and this energy, these new things are meant to spice it up, but I think also give you a lot of confidence, So I think that you're gonna get a hobby, or not saying that this is going to be a hobby, but maybe you'll get a hobby, or maybe you'll go on, or have sex with all these people or something. And I think that maybe you're a little insecure about your ability to successfully execute these things beforehand. maybe you felt like, oh no, I'm not that attractive, people don't just want to like sleep with me, or people aren't that interested in me. And maybe it's not like a super obvious insecurity that you have, but maybe it was just a little thing. You know, maybe you thought, oh, I can never just have friends with benefits. I'm just not that type of person. But like actually, if you introspect and think about it, you want to be that type of person. So there's absolutely nothing standing in your way from being that type of person. And so, yeah, similarly, like with the hobby thing, maybe you're like, oh, no, I'm not a creative person. I'm not good at stuff like art or things like that. But no, you're being called to take up this hobby. You know, you can do it. You're your own biggest obstacle, I feel like. Or maybe even in the past, other people were your big obstacles. But I feel like right now, in this moment, you are your only biggest obstacle. Maybe in the past you had a lot of haters, but I feel like their energy is just still on you. But I don't think that you deserve it. I mean, I don't think you deserved it then, but I think their energy is still on you, but I don't think you really realize that. I don't think you realize that you've internalized a lot of the little judgments or little critiques that people have put on you in the past. And maybe you do realize that, but I don't, it is just sort of an obstacle that's keeping you from sort of stepping into this fun, lighthearted Page of Wands energy where you're able to just sort of experience the fun things in life so that down the line you can experience something stable and secure that also has all the fun things in life. And then we also have Six of Lattes, which is the Six of Cups. That's so cute. This is the first time I got this card in this deck, I'm pretty sure. So it says amygdala, hippocampus, cerebellum, prefrontal cortex. According to science, this is where the memories are made and stored and away and recalled from our neural tissue. But that feels clinical, however true, and I've always hated hospitals. The smell, I was a toddler, held down, a tiny willful body, kicking and screaming, fighting necessary vaccination. What? This card is going in such a weird direction. Recollections are what make us. Stuff of our composition, warped souvenirs. Okay, that's that card just went in a lot of different directions, that little poem on it. But basically that card was talking a lot about memories and nostalgia. Yeah, so maybe you have like there could be some past memories that are coming up that are maybe a little bit triggering, or maybe like this current like page, or the soon to be Page of Wands energy that you have where you're just going out and experiencing things. Maybe it triggers a lot of negative memories. You know, maybe you're hooking up with someone and you sort of get an intrusive thought of a memory of you hooking up with a past person and them like sort of making fun of you, or maybe you just feeling a little uncomfortable, or just memories of the past of you like trying something out and other people just like being mean to you about it. Honestly, I mean, Six of Cups, I think that also though, it's reminding you to, yes, remember those memories, but remember them in the context of those memories are probably like the traumas that you hold, that are keeping you from really stepping into this energy, stepping into your Page of Wands energy. And I think that you're being called to focus on the people and the connections and the memories in your life that sort of reassure you and help you feel confident. Focus on the nice, joyous energy. I think also maybe all the groups have gotten the Six of Cups, or just a lot of them have gotten the Six of Cups, which is very nice. I mean, it's especially nice because of like the nature of this reading, channel messages from your loved one's higher selves. So yeah, I think that they're just really saying, go find comfort, security, and reassurance in the deep, soulful, familial connections you have in your life right now, and help use those to sort of eradicate and erase these harmful memories that you have of people judging you, by sort of reminding yourself of all the people that see exactly who you are and love you for it. And then also, being called to just simply take those memories as the bits of trauma that they are. Don't take them as being, reasons why you can't do something. Take it as being, reasons why you just feel like you can't do something. So, like a bully making fun of you for your artwork in 8th grade doesn't mean you can't be a good artist. You having the flashback of that memory while you're drawing now doesn't mean you can't be a great artist. What it does mean is someone was mean to you when you were younger and it made you feel like you can't be good at this thing. That's what it means. It doesn't mean you can't be good at it. It means it made you feel that way. So let's get a word of advice before we close. Word of advice for pile 4 from their loved ones' higher selves. So we have, wings. You never needed those wings to fly. So this is funny. This card actually came out for an 18 plus reading that I did as one of the groups to choose. So I think this is just sort of reiterating that I think a lot of you guys, some of the fun Page of Wands, lighthearted energy you'll be experiencing is very sexual in nature. And I think that also specifically, what you could be unintentionally or intentionally manifesting afterwards, long-term down the road, is, this perfect partner who has the qualities of all these fleeting connections that you'll be experiencing now, or I'll say all the good qualities of these fleeting connections you're experiencing now. But also, you never needed those wings to fly. You didn't, you don't need these people's validation. You didn't need someone to say that you can do it. You don't need someone to say that you can, date around, or that you can try out these hobbies. You don't need someone to give you the green light. Green light, another Lorde song. You guys are getting a lot of music coming through. But yeah, you guys don't need someone to give you a green light to do these things and to experiencing these things. I feel like you guys may have also put yourselves in a box. Maybe you guys think of yourselves as a certain type of person. So with this domino energy of, 5 and making change happen, I think that also, you're being called to sort of step into that power. In the very beginning of this reading, I did get the energy, or I got the message that, your loved ones' higher selves were very proud of you for this action-oriented, go-getter energy that you have. But I feel like, you do have that energy in a lot of things, but I feel like that could be something that maybe is mostly seen in stuff like your career life or your passions or things that you already sort of know you're good at. But I feel like things that maybe you're a little more insecure about, I feel like you're almost very insecure about. And so I think you're also being called to really just sort of take that action, go-getter, driven approach to the other areas of your life that maybe you feel naturally a little more insecure in. So, maybe you're really great at math and you have a math type finance job, but maybe you're really insecure about your art because a girl in 8th grade bullied you for it. And so you're being called to act like your badass, finance world self as you're doing this art. Have the confidence that you have for your finance stuff in your artwork. And because at the end of the day, you shouldn't have confidence in just your ability to do this thing. You're not having confidence in just an outcome. You're having confidence in yourself being able to produce that outcome. So ultimately, learn to just try and have that confidence be just for yourself and with all things that you do, not just one specific situation. But okay, pile number 4, that's all the messages I have for you. If you liked this reading, feel free to like, comment, or subscribe. Let me know if you liked this reading, like these type of readings, because I know that, they're not the most popular. People prefer, the love type readings. And so I don't always post readings like this type just because I do know that people don't really, not as many people like them. So if you do really like them and want to see more like this, like channeled messages or more readings sort of focused on your own insular self-development energy, definitely comment down below and let me know, because I'd be happy to supply that for you. But okay, I'm going to leave it there, you guys. Have a nice day or night whenever you're watching this. Bye-bye.